There's nothing short of pure horror in the video you're about to see. Those cops are beating on that man as though they're beating on him with baseball bats.
Beating, and of course it raised some red flags. Look, what Stanislav Petrov did in that chase, if you know, those are the allegations against him, was wrong. Okay,
and dangerous, could have killed someone.
And dangerous, he could have killed someone. He should have been restrained. He should have been arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent. With that said, at that point where you see the beating, he had already surrendered, but the cops were viciously beating him. And of course, this is in the middle of all these news stories that are popping up in various municipalities throughout the country involving police brutality. And so, yeah, I completely believe the homeless couple when they say that this deputy gave them the gold chain. Now, this story has been, developing, and now we have some more surveillance, which the public defender believes shows the deputy with the gold chain. Now, it's really, really hard to see it. I'm not even sure if I can really see it, but I want to give you guys the opportunity to take a look at that surveillance and we'll discuss. Okay, so it's really hard to see it, and what they're planning on doing is sending this video to the FBI.
So there it is again, folks. They're saying that they're going to get this video over to the FBI because, as you know, the FBI is the most reputable, trusted agency in all the world. Not just America. You can trust the FBI. It's not just a bunch of cops who became FBI agents. No, that's not what it is. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's mostly what it is. Mostly cops who became FBI agents. They have this G.I. Joe loser mentality that they're our saviors, and so they want to become FBI. But first, a lot of them do a stint in your local police department. Hurry, get the video over to the FBI. They're going to be honest.
Could possibly make it easier, less grainy to see it. I don't know if he could possibly make it easier, less grainy to see it. I don't know if they even have the ability to do that.
The allegations are that the cop gave a homeless couple a gold necklace to keep their mouth shut about the beating.
Like on NCIS or something?
Something. I don't know exactly how that process works.
There was a frame where it looked like something caught the light that was swinging down.
Yeah, exactly.
But God only knows what it was. And then the good thing, I guess, in this case is that considering the first video, these cops, something has to happen to them, whether there was a chain or no chain.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see in that video him try to resist, try to fight back at all, as they were beating on him like they were trying to chop down a tree.
Yeah.
Like if I was filming that as a movie, I would have cut because it looked so unrealistic how much they were hitting him. And even when the ambulance comes around the corner and is approaching, the lights are on them. Even that isn't enough to shock them out of what they're doing.
I know.
In full view of other authorities, they're continuing to beat on this guy.
Of course they're continuing to beat on the man. He's not complying. Beat him. Beat him. Oh no, bro. Beat that man. He's still moving. Was that guy still moving? If he's still moving, hit him again.
Yeah, you see a video like that and it makes you lose your trust in some cops. I'm not.
So this video is a couple years old. This video is 9 years old. This is before 2020. This is before the ACAB movement. It makes you lose your trust in some cops. No, honey, I'm sorry. This makes you lose trust in all cops. Who's the good cop? Who's gonna be the good cop that's gonna come on the scene and stop this brutality? We've seen now, 9 years later, video after video after video, we've seen that no good cop is coming in to stop it. We have seen 1, 2, maybe 3 videos in the past 20 years where a cop intervenes and stops one cop from beating, maiming, or even offing someone who's not armed and not resisting. You remember the woman cop that pulled the other cop back and he went to go hit her and then that cop got fired and they made a big deal about it? How many of those videos do you see? How many videos have you seen where you see the good cop come in and stop the bad cop from beating, maiming, and killing? You don't. And I love how she parsed her words here.
It makes you lose your trust in some cops. I'm not.
Yeah. No, it makes you lose your trust in all cops. And then she's gonna further parse her words.
it makes you lose your trust in some cops. I'm not saying all, and every time we cover these cop stories, it's difficult for me personally because, as I've said before, I have a family member who's a cop, and she's a really great cop.
No, she's not. Oh, God. Oh, God. Spare me. For each and every one of you who has, I have a family member who's a cop, and she's a really great cop. Really? Why don't we get to look at your family member's body camera? Every single moment unredacted, and you're going to find out that your family member is not a really great cop. And she says it so
difficult for me personally because, as I've said before, I have a family member who's a cop, and she's a really great cop.
Yeah, okay. I have a family member who's a cop, and she's a really great cop. She's not like the rest who beat, maim, assault, kill, batter, rape, destroy, pillage, cheat, lie. My family member is not like that. My family member who's a cop is not like these ones. I know you see these ones doing it, but my family member is not like that.
She has a kind heart. She's
Her family member has a kind heart. Do you believe that? Do me a favor, comment down in the comment section here. Do you think that her family member who's a copper has a kind heart? Is that what it is? Or is it because it's your family member and you just can't wrap around your head that your family member is a pig?
fair. I'm not saying all, and every time we cover these cop stories, it's difficult for me personally.
I'm not saying all, but every time we cover these cop stories, of course she's not saying all. This is 9 years ago. Remember, 9 years ago, there wasn't a body camera and a dash cam everywhere. The body cam and dash cam everywhere is just starting now in 2025. And now when there's no body cam or dash cam, we, the people, are like, what? There's no body cam and dash cam? Because the body cam and dash cam really came into effect after 2020. I'll let this play so we can get her whole statement.
In some cops, it makes you lose your trust in some cops. I'm not saying all, and every time we cover these cop stories, it's difficult for me personally because, as I've said before, I have a family member who's a cop, and she's a really great cop. She has a kind heart, she's fair, you know, she believes in their justice system, she believes in doing the right thing. And unfortunately, you do stories like this, and it paints this very bleak picture of cops in general, and it's just unfair to the good cops, and they do exist. But at the same time, you see this and you understand why people don't trust the cops. You understand why people want some justice and they want to speak out about police brutality. This is not something that only impacts minorities. It absolutely has a disproportionate impact on minorities, that's for sure. But we've now done countless stories where it doesn't even have to be a minority. Excessive force is used against a lot of different people of a lot of different backgrounds in this country.
And used by people of different backgrounds.
That's exactly right. And so we need to do something to solve that problem. Whether it's, you know, doing more background checks or vetting before we hire people, or kind of rethinking the way that we train our police officials.
This woman completely and utterly lost. It's the training. It's the fear everybody and fear everything. And all you have to do is scream, "Stop resisting," and "I was afraid for my life," and the cops get away with murder. But her diatribe here, her verbal diarrhea, just makes me want to vomit. Of all these good cops she's talking about, how many videos have you seen where the good cop pulls the bad cop off of somebody? How many videos have you seen where the good cop will pull the bad cop off of somebody that they're beating, maiming, torturing, killing? How many times? How many? Very few. Very few. And I've seen thousands of cop videos.
But one thing I know for sure is we need to finally start punishing and giving consequences to the cops that are caught doing this type of behavior. Just this week, CNN...
This is 9 years ago. This is 9 years ago. Just keep that in mind, okay? Listen, I'm going to get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gators. You see this arm elbow bend right there? Phone's at the top of it. There's the top of the goalpost. There's the other side of the goalpost. Now I've got a touchdown position. Copper can't say I was reaching. Copper can't say nada. I had my license, registration, proof of insurance ready to go along with a copy of my driver. I'm a black man today named Denzel Washington. I had everything ready to go for the jackboot thug pig. I had everything ready to go. License, registration, proof of insurance, everything was together on a laminated card. I already laminated it. I took my time to do it because I don't want this jackboot thug pig to have any kind of power over me. I gave you everything I have to give you required by law. Leave me alone at that point. I'm not gonna play the game of why'd you pull me over. I'm not gonna play the game of do you know how fast I was going. No, 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 no. We've seen time and time and time again that you end up going in torture cuffs, that you end up going to jail. You have to use the trifold. Then the cop says, you know what? I want to search your car. And you say, okay, sure, you can search my car. And then you get out of the car. And then you turn around and you pull your trifold out and you say, you know what, I revoke consent. If I can give consent, then I can revoke consent. I revoke consent on camera. Now, from the 1914 case of Weeks called the exclusionary rule, he can no longer search. He has to stop searching. Anything he finds after the search, after you revoke consent, is no longer admissible in a court of law. If you have it on camera, doesn't matter what you have in your car after that point. You gave consent, he took your consent, used your consent, you revoked that consent, and then he searched your car anyway. It's now the exclusionary rule. No longer can he use it. Fruit of the Poisonous Tree from 1961, Mapp versus Ohio.